for the perfect moment to say that this is what God has positioning me to do. Sometimes you need to believe in people's beliefs in you. Because people see you in a nutshell. People see who you are. That sometimes we don't see. You be lost in your own world. Love. Not knowing that what you love is your livelihood. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cedric. Thank you, Doctor. I want to come back to you, Cedric.
Yeah.
And then Doctor after that. What I'm hearing, I know there's a script, but let's flow with you. There's young people here. I'm a businessman. I could give a perspective from my point of view, but then not everybody is in my perspective will limit. So I want to just talk about, we've had prepare yourself for the opportunity. We've seen God shifting things for you, you know. For Doctor, school fees assured in less than 2 months of losing a father, you through the orphanage, and God helping you through it. And when that time came, there was a plan. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going ahead of you, but to be honest, these things like we saw in Joseph's life, God is doing something. For us who read, we can see, because we have been told how to read the Bible. We can read and see that God is doing something. Joseph wasn't seeing what God was doing. He saw his brothers selling him off, first throwing him into the well, and then selling him off. So, of course, he knew that he's in prison. I mean, he doesn't know that in a week or two, he'll be a prime minister. He's experiencing prison. So these hardships, really, there are young people here. They could sit back there and think, maybe in Cedric and Doctor's life, there's something I'm just not telling us, you know? They are not telling us. Because let me tell you, Cedric and Doctor, if we start mentioning your relationships countrywide or even internationally, somebody will say, no, that's the catch. That's the thing that we didn't know. That's the difference between me and Doctor. That's the difference between me and Cedric. That Cedric, right now, I've been with Cedric for a whole day. The first day I met him, we spent a whole day between Kampala and Lira. This man's phone was buzzing. Honorables only. I mean, Doctor who, CG, Minister who. I mean, me, I'm older than you, Dr. Cedric. I don't have even the area LOC5 leaving me a message. So for you who has called me back from Honorable, and I'm sure it's the same thing with you, Doctor, how do we even relate to these things you're telling us? Are they true? I mean, somebody is in a real Joseph was in a prison. Somebody else right now doesn't see how their life becomes your life. And I'm not saying you are not dealing with your own life, whatever.
That's a very good question, a good hard one. Now, getting back to that, I'll be very brief. You see, when I told you that, do you see a man good at what he does? The kings and princes, you will be able to meet. Proverbs chapter 29, I think verse 16 or 19, says that, do you see a man skillful at what he does? He's going to sit before kings, not obscure men. Now, I don't have the best qualification. I don't have master's degree. I don't have everything that you might think I should have. I remember there was an opportunity that one time Doctor told me about, and I went to the minister's office for a job. That was, in fact, in my mind, I was already calculating the salary. And only to find out that the Cedric, they thought I had masters, but I was not even done with my degree yet. So I missed the opportunity simply because they thought I had masters when I went for the interview and so forth. Now, some of us have very poor backgrounds, and a lot of you, growing up in orphanage and having no backups from a lot of family members. The only thing, the backup you have, is what you have in your brain. When I told you that I won the Presidential Awards on Innovation, we were competing with so many people who had doctorates, masters, and so forth. And I was this person who was supposed to graduate on the 4th of December with a professional certificate in software engineering. And it's not about the person I know. It's not about who I knew in which offices. I actually don't know a lot of people. I didn't know a lot of people. But because people valued my talent in tech, in youth leadership, youth influence, positive ones, very positive, that is why now I know many that connects with me on a daily basis, that gives me phone call to really see what kind of value can I bring on their desk. And that is why you see, it might be hard to relate stories. Because someone out there might think, oh, I mean, these guys are just privileged. No, not like, that is not the statement I would say, just privilege. Because every little thing I'm seeing now, I started doing them way when I was young. And when I went to campus, people thought I was mad because people were having fun every weekend. There is vibe and everything happening. To me, there's this app called Eventbrite. Eventbrite is an app that you look for events happening within town. So I could use the app to look for tech events within Kampala that is happening. So I attended so many tech events, footed around Kampala for so long. I developed ulcers because I used to have ulcers. I developed it sometimes back, but I got some little money, so ulcers disappeared. So I remember there was a hub called Wazi Hub next to Amkasha Mall that they used to give me opportunity to just go, use their internet, have the machine, and do robotics. So I could go there every single day. I just pack my porridge in a flask, go there, because food was 7K lunch. And I didn't have that money, 2019, 2020. So I could sit there and work till 6 p.m. and just go home. That's when I developed ulcers and so forth. But all this, I remember there's a friend called Brian Yekongora, who I called back then. I said, Brian, I lowered my tone and I said, Brian, I am so hungry. First send me 5K. Up to now, he still laughs at me for that, the voice I used. And it was so hard. So nothing has been easy. It's been, what do you have? What value do you bring on the table of people? I have met people, I have presented in places to parliament, to committees, ministers, and so forth, and presidents, and I sit on big meetings with big people that, if you ask yourself, at the age of 23, I was meeting these top people in government and meeting up with them. Why? It is because I didn't have the money, I didn't have the connection, but I had value that I could bring on their desk. So, to me, my question that I ask myself every single time is, what do I really bring on the table? It's not like asking a question of doubt to you or to anybody else. And one thing I realized that is putting me a lot of tension is, because so many young people listen to me, I do a lot of videos, inspirational videos on TikTok and so forth, because they have beliefs in me that I am intelligent. I have to remain really relevant. So the trick I do is, I started a program myself of equipping myself with knowledge so that I am very relevant in any conversation, in any life application. And I've been trying to read 4 books a month. But it's hard. But the pressure I have to do that is, I've put myself to a point where people really need to believe what I tell them.
They expect from you a lot.
I need to read the Bible so well. I need to read different books to understand the different aspect of life. So it's not been the people I knew, it's not been what, it's been doing the things I love very well, and then people identifying.
Doctor, I know you have something to add to that. Although, help us understand. Cedric, you almost didn't tell me what I want to hear. And I'm not asking for myself. If it's not the people you know, what is the work that goes into flourishing that we don't see on the surface? Yeah.
I want to start by saying, serving God is not in vain.
It's not in vain. Amen. Amen.
You see, this world that we live in, nothing is for certain. You can't say, I will do this and get this. No. You will do it, but what you get is never guaranteed. But serving God is guaranteed. It's guaranteed protection, is guaranteed opportunity, is guaranteed life, is guaranteed blessings. Serving God. And I want to believe that because I served God as a child, every mistake I made along the road led to an opportunity. But it does not come without suffering. So when you say sitting before the king, sitting, having a table before honorables, ministers, and what, at a young age, for me, I want to believe it came because I wore this uniform growing up. It's because I served the church. It's because I moved tables. Because I served in overnights, every overnight. Throughout, from the time I was 5 years old.
Wow. Thank you.
So just to you, ladies, that is not in vain. Now, you don't live a life without mistakes. We are human. But it is that serving God that reminds God that, no, this is my child. I cannot let her die. For instance, I gave birth out of wedlock. I was still at university, appointed vice guild president. I was the head of, you see, and boom, I'm pregnant. And no, I did not abort that child. I decided to swallow the bitter pill, have the embarrassment, resign from guildship, because at Uganda Christian University, you cannot be pregnant and a leader and you're not married. I swallowed the bitter pill and took the shame. Thousands of students looking at me and laughing. I swallowed the bitter pill. My parents ashamed, because everybody thought because I was even contesting for youth member of parliament at that time. I got pregnant, but I had to put it aside to do the right thing. I've made one mistake. I'm saying, God, I am sorry, but I will have this baby. Yes, I'm not married, but I will have this baby. And this is a big mistake that happens to us women. We get pregnant. When you have sex, unfortunately, during ovulation, you will get pregnant. So you decide on what you want to do. You want to have sex? Yes, you will get pregnant. You want to decide and tell yourself, okay, I will have an abortion? Thank you. There is a price for that. But there's also a price for giving birth. There's a blessing in that mistake. And I thought my life was over. Because the whole country knew I'd given birth out of wedlock. Because I was contesting for National Female Youth MP. So all the youths knew I had made a mistake. You know, when everybody knows you've made a mistake, you feel there's nowhere you can go. There's no office you can go to. I went to my grandmother's house in Ginger and relaxed there, growing my baby. Because I knew my life was finished. But guess what? After giving birth to that baby, my grandmother said one thing: you will get up, my daughter, after giving birth, I will tie your stomach and you will look like you have never given birth.
Somebody clap for Jesus. Yes, doctor.
That is a very normal statement, right? But there is something bigger in that. She's telling you, you will rise above this. And indeed, after giving birth, a hot towel around my stomach, tighter than it has ever been. My stomach became tighter, smaller than it ever was, even when I was growing up. 1 week, I was moving around like I have not pushed a baby. And it is in that people, So people are now forgetting that I gave birth. They're like, Shokaba Nangi, your body goes back. Your body, and everybody's amazed. Your body goes back in it. Now people have forgotten that I've spent the whole 9 months big. There's a new story that has been created. You get it? Yes. That's a new story being. Yes. So I now wanted to first hide away from going back into school. But then someone told me, Sharon, go back and finish. Yes. I said I'm going to be embarrassed in that school. They're like, no. And I showed up with a tiny stomach, and I was now wearing tiny tops. But oh my God, that's a new story. A blessing in the mud. Then I said, now, I'm going to flourish with this. Now, pregnancy, I think pregnancy became like a hobby to me. I pushed 3 in 3 years. You get it? And another and another. But now it was normal. It was normal. That ugliness had become normal. By the time I was graduating, I'd given birth to all my babies. You see? Blessing in mud. And why? Because I did not want to have to make another mistake later. I said, let me work within this mistake. But at the same time, I told myself, I will be a mother. I'll be a wife, which did not work out very well. That's a different story. But that's not a fault. That part is between two people. But for myself, I said, I'll get a job. Now, I went back to Mr. Ken Karisa of NBS TV. I said, boss, I need a job. He said, Sharon, even if you came to me 10 years later, I would still give you a job. Because when you worked here, when you were my personal assistant, you were good. And every time I'm looking for a personal assistant, I ask people, get me a Sharon. Mind you, I got this job when I was 17 years old. How I got it is another flourishing in the mud. I walk to a woman. I buy a fish for my father. She gives me extra balance. Top of it, I walk to my gate knowing, I've gotten free airtime. She's giving me top-up balance. And I realized, no, this is wrong. I ran back to her. I said, Mama, unpad the extra balance. Panange tomanyi kyonkoledde mbadde ssente za mwana wange mulwadde mbadde nzitwala mu ddwaliro 3K 3,000. I give it back to her. Then nkusabire kuki? I'm like, no, just pray for me to get a job. Like, naye oli ku ssomero oli mu senior 6 omaliriza lwaki sikusabira oyite ebibuuzo? Like, ebibuuzo nja biyita naye omulimu gwe omuzibu kuba sirina degree naye ebibuuzo nja biyita. Back, she prayed. And indeed, I walk into NBS one day like this, and in 1 freaking hour, I have a job I'm reporting to the next day. That is flourishing in the mad, but it is what we do, sir. It's what we do. You serve God, He serves you back. You decide to give back that balance. God gives you extra ways of income. You got that job. That's how I became Ken Karisa's personal assistant. You're on top of everybody else who is a manager, because the manager reports to you to give back the message to the boss. Yes. And that is serving God. It doesn't come easy. It doesn't come cheap. It takes your time. It takes your energy. It takes your sleep. But guess what? That sleep, you get to have your king-size bed after that.
Wow. Who has not understood? Hey, we are on one page. These people are speaking a lot. I don't know if we have enough to collect. Doctor, you've spoken. Just to close it up on that. I don't go back to that. The time I was pregnant, the whole of Northern Uganda radio talked about me. In the morning.
I also had.
In the morning, in the afternoon, in the night. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the night, in the morning. Now, it so happens that there were 2 gentlemen who were fighting over me at that time. So it was terrible. It was the worst news. Morning, afternoon. Like, every day they're talking about you. in the worst way possible. Malaya, 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 Malaya. Like it became a song in my ears. You get it? But guess what? Doing the right thing and pushing on and refusing to give up made the same radios, the same journalists, the same talk about me when I was before the president getting the Jubilee Award.
Wow.
Fast forward 2025.
Wow. I think this is a nice time to also say, Cedric, you won the award for innovation.
Yes.
Dr. got on Women's Day.
Yeah.
You know those medals the president awards to prominent Ugandans. So you see, the youngest to ever
She was
receive
the youngest to ever receive.
that medal.
Yes.
It's called what? Golden Jubilee Medal. I don't know if you know. There's an Alubale medal. I don't know what other medal. Almost every state function, national state function, the president awards prominent Ugandans. Doctor, congratulations to that one. Cedric, you are given you are mentioned somewhere in history as one of the most prominent. Is it 40?
I've been listed 4 times on the top 40 most influential young people in the country.
Top 40 most influential young people in
Yes.
the country.
Yes.
When I spent hours with you, and my first time with Doctor here, also I'm lucky it's going to be more than an hour. For me, this is how I treat life. I know that if I want to see change in my life, if people come into my life that I could learn from, I must take the lesson. Yeah. Cedric, you do a lot of stuff, and I know even Doctor here. But at 20-something, and Doctor for the last how many years, at only 32, what you people are doing, I want to ask a question, and Cedric then Doctor will answer along that same question. About people giving up. You see, Joseph, with the challenges, Doctor has, if we spoke about challenges here, Cedric, they know. We started with that. Doctor has blown us away with her own testimony. You see, like I said, we see what we read, or we look at the outward and see the flourishing, but there's a story underneath that people have to overcome certain obstacles for that flourishing to be visible. But there's also the temptation to give up. How come, Cedric, you have all the right to give up?
Absolutely.
How come you never gave up?
First of all, there was a time I texted my sister here. I wanted to cry when she's listening to me because I wanted to give up. That should not be more than 2 years ago. We started the company in 2020, and this is not something to motivate you. We had a platform where people order for products online, like Jumia, that we were trying to build for the region. We stayed for 6 months, only one person ordered.
Only one customer in 6 months.
And he ordered for toothpaste of 1.5. My colleague called Joshua Okot delivered the toothpaste. He paid the border of 2.5 to deliver a product of 1.5. So we made a loss. On the 19th of July, we got 56 orders in one day. That was in 2021. And we had our office that if someone walks into, we were 4, you have to pretend like you're on a phone call to give space to the other guy to sit. It was somewhere down in town. And the day we were supposed to officially launch our product to the region, our system crashed. So the venue was set, the cake was there, the seats were arranged, I'd written invitation, I'd signed invitation myself. And then we had to jump on a phone call, the four of us. What do? We can't launch a product that doesn't exist. Because fixing the product would cost us a lot and time. We cancelled the launch when the chief guest had arrived. The chief guest was a gentleman called Peter Okoda, who was a proprietor of one of the schools, the owner of the school we went to. And we never launched again. We just said, no, let's just carry on the work. Let's just start doing the work. These things of launching will not work. So I have seen times where you're working with a team and you feel you're contributing too much to the table of the team, and the team is not giving you the best you can. And personally, I've cried so many times, and I've asked myself, why am I doing so much at a very young age? Why do I have to think so many things at the same time that I can't execute them all, to a point where I am always on the road? Always on the road. Just this week, I think I've been, Monday, I remember I told you how I've been moving, in between.
Yes.
I've been on the road like for the last many hours. And yesterday I was on the road and so forth. Like, I spent so much moving to go and source for opportunities that I have no idea they are there, because I feel that if I sit and wait, it is not going to reach in any way. And being a Christian, I used to do a lot of service leading. By the way, I can also play instruments. That is some part I don't tell people, because there are senior people in instruments here. When they ask for some chord, you can't even tell them I can't play. But I had to learn so much to accommodate who I want to be.
Yeah.
If the keyboard guy is absent in this church, I can play. If the guitar guy is absent, I'll play. If the pastor is not feeling well, I'll go and preach. Like, I had to learn every corner and serving in church, because being someone that people really looks up to, people think you have everything figured out. And I remember when I was coming, I told you this story, when I was coming to get my presidential award in 2021, I borrowed money from my sister, and I got 20K from Mokash. And then she topped it up to come, and they didn't tell me to come. I just came. Because I just came because I saw on the government website I was the best, but they didn't call me to tell me you come. So in my mind I was like, you people, I have to go to Kampala. So I arrived in Kampala at 6 a.m. in the morning. They called me at 8 a.m. Congratulations, Cedric, you're among the best, so please come to Kololo for the presidential award. I was like, who calls people in the morning? What if I was in Lira?
What if you're in Lira?
And that same time I won around 4 awards. In a period of 2 months. Remember, there was Janzi, Best Innovator of the Year, Best Software Engineer of the Year, Best Innovator, and stuff like that. But to me, if you're not ready to start a business, or if you don't have an entrepreneurial spirit of not giving up, don't even waste time. Just look for a job. Just go find a job. If they're paying you 30K per day, or 30K per week, just do it, because it calls for very resilient people to actually start a business. We were doing IT, something very new in the region, not very new as such, but a business that not so many people are doing. And I would say that there was a time we went for 7 months without paying rent. I think that was about 2-3 years back. We went for a very long time without paying rent. And our landlord, who is one of the richest tycoons in the city, he really loved what we were doing. He loved the idea of how we were doing our stuff. So he really pardoned us. He pardoned us. He said, whatever you find, you bring. But as time went on, first of all, I lost 1 or 2 of my team members, because as being someone who was too much into the vision, I paid a lot of money to make sure that I push anything to be possible. And to some of them, it was not right. They felt I was pushing too much of personal money into business, of which, yes, I did. And I told them I didn't do it because we didn't have to do it. I did it because I wanted things to work. And that was the time I reached out to her. I reached a point where I'll be like, I think I need to step away, because if I was probably doing this alone, I would be really far by now. And then I had to reconcile and sit back and ask myself, why did we in the first place start? Why did we start? Because my family is telling me you're over-traveling, and they don't know I'm here, by the way. I think maybe some of them saw my status. I usually don't tell them where I am. because they feel bad that I overmove.
You
But
move a
then,
lot.
to me, it's building what I need. Some of them probably have already lived their life. They have already enjoyed. They already have achieved so much. So to me, it has never been easy. But one time I prayed. I was listening to a sermon by T.D. Jakes. He was preaching about business. Sometimes you need to pray for it. Just get down and pray for your business. Pray, put your business. The things of just praying, I'm sorry, Jesus, for what I've done. Get there and pray for the business. Pray for work, pray for everything. So I started a culture, get to office, first thing is pray. Pray for your company, pray for whatever things you're doing. Sometimes it might sound like it's not the best to do, but
It's
I
always
think,
the best.
yes, when you put God first
Yes.
in what you do, first of all, your life is different. Talking about character, we see from Joseph, when Joseph flourished, Joseph did not just flourish because he was, by the way, that guy was handsome. If you read that verse very well, I read it, Joseph was well built. I don't know who to compare here, but all these guys are like Joseph. So Joseph was well built, and then this woman lured him, and then I read the verse says, over and over, she kept persisting.
Yeah.
Women also don't give up, by the way. So in business, you also don't need to give up. So I read that story for Joseph, and I realized that it was not just about that he had a purpose that God had planned, that maybe says, this is where I'm moving to. But he had a very specific set of characters that made him to be so different, and God had to choose him for what he knew would be best for him. And to me, the biggest thing that has helped me is my character. Like character is, I wrote a book about character, building great character. And to me, I believe that a person with good talent, character, is more to be praised than someone with an outstanding talent. Because talent, to some extent, is you're naturally born with. You go to school to learn things, they build up. You don't go to find what you're talented at, but they build up what you're talented. But character, you build it every day. Your relation with people, the things you do, how you speak to people, how you bond with people, you build it every single time. And then, yes.
Cedric, I want to come to Doctor. From what you've said, I want to ask Doctor a question. You're speaking about character. I want to, you see, here, in this group, Doctor, we have young people like yourselves. They have ambition. One thing from my experience I know is that growth and progress and seeing change in your life is hinged on relationships. Now, here we have young, maybe today we have people who have come who want to be here, but the group who organized this, who invited you, are single young people. One of the things that we deal with is our relationships. There's the marriage relationships or the, what's it called? Love relationships, like maybe fiancés and husbands and wives, but also there's relationships with each other at work, in the communities. You two people are, Doctor, tell us about how you are managing. Because if you mishandle relationships, definitely me, by my experience, I know, it's only a time bomb. It's a matter of time until you start going down. How do you maintain healthy relationships? And how do these relationships, how can they play into your growth? Because yes, you work, you serve God. By you carrying 3,000 back to the owner, it could have, maybe it wouldn't have mattered to her, but then it mattered. You now can say, it's the prayer she made for you. You juggle a lot of people who, if you gave me 2 contacts, I don't know if the end of the year I will have maintained. You gave me one of those contacts. I've never called her. You shared with me. I refuse to call because I don't think I'm ready even to speak to that lady. I mean, you thought you're helping me, but you gave me a very hard task. I call her and say, what? So you people have experience dealing with some of the countries really contact. If I'm telling you, I think if it was just a matter of call this person, I've said it, if I tell him you're going to get sorted, I'm telling you either Doctor or Cedric can make one phone call and maybe all of us would have our challenges met. But if you told us to relate with those people ourselves and come back 1 year later and say, okay, who of you is still friends with these people? And I'm not saying that this side, there's nobody who has such contacts. But it's now you on the spotlight. How am I going to manage, okay, our mayor here, how am I going to be friends with mayor? And I'm a born-again person.
Okay, I wanted to tell, when you were talking, I wanted to tell a story.
Yes.
But then I will jump to the story later, so you remind me and say story. Yeah, later, after.
Yeah.
Every human being, from the top, from the king, from a president, for as long as the person is a human being, we are all selfish.
We are all selfish.
We are all selfish. Why? We are born alone.
You're born alone.
Whether you're a twin, you come alone.
Yes.
You're your own individual. So that calls for selfishness at a certain point. Where when you're struggling for breath with somebody, you want to have that breath at the end of the day. No matter how born again or religious or you are,
Yes.
no matter how social a person you want to have something good for yourself. Now that applies to relationships. It so happens that you want something, I want something, he wants something, and you want something. So if you're going to have a relationship with me, what am I getting out of it? What is the benefit of my relationship with you? That means if you are looking to have a relationship with a minister, with whoever, with an MP, with a CEO or executive director, what are you bringing into their life? Yes, you want to benefit from them. You want opportunities from them. But what are they getting from you? Are the MPs getting some voters from you? Is the president getting a person that is skilled enough to fix a problem? What problem are you fixing in that person's life? When you grow up as an adult, friendships are no longer "Mkwano gwange, my friend, let's eat together." No. As adults, friendships are now about what are we working on? What are we benefiting? What are we working towards? What problem are we solving together? That is adult friendship. It's not about, even if it's come and let's have a drink. What is the benefit? Hey, let me call this channel. Let me call this guy because he makes me laugh. I need to laugh a bit. Let me call him. That is your benefit. When you're with this person.
Someone has vibe, let him come.
Hey, that guy has vibe, let me invite. There's a benefit to that friendship. So if I introduce you to the minister, ask yourself, if I go, what am I giving in order to get? It is not about you getting.
It's not just, hey, Honorable, I got your number from Cedric. I sell T-shirts.
Honorable, I realized I was moving around La Molata and I realized the fishermen in that area are lacking some nets. I spoke to an organization that is ready to give, and I saw an online advert on an organization that is ready to give mosquito nets. I have a proposal here that you might want to look into that I can actually come and present to you so that maybe you can chip into that organization and get something. you've just seen something online.
Are we recording? We need that clip.
You get it?
Yes.
As honorable, hey, you come. You
Now
have
she
prompted
gives you time.
me.
Yeah.
As a CEO, you have prompted me to call you. You have not begged me for an opportunity. You have not begged me for a meeting. You have given me a solution to a problem.
So, say Joseph is in the prison, gifted and applying. And then he's recommended to the Prime Minister. There is a guy in there
Whose dream?
he can interpret.
Exactly.
Not, oh, please get me out of here.
Save
because
me.
When he tried that, it failed. He said, man, remember me. And the guy forgot him.
Joseph had to interpret the for him to be called upon.
That's what the king wanted. That's
Yes,
Yeah.
it is something for something. What makes you think you're the only one that wants something? I want something too. And I'll only call upon you if I can get that thing from you. Now I'm going to jump into character. You know that moment where Joseph was tempted sexually? And he said, no. Now that was character. Story.
Story. Everybody say story. A TUE story.
I worked in a place, I won't mention the name, because and I was working with a minister, a male minister. And the minister so happened to also be working with someone he's having sexual relations with. Now me, I am tall, and the person he's having sexual relations with is slightly shorter. Is shorter and smaller. Small, I am this and this. You get it?
Are we together?
We are together.
Now it so happens that I have to solve two problems. A jealous lady and a hungry minister. You're solving two problems. The jealous lady is assuming you're going to say yes. The minister will be getting pissed because you're saying no. Those are two problems. It's hard when there's opportunity. But it takes a heart to say, I will say no to you, and you, lady, you deal with your problems. I am focusing on what I believe in. You have hatred, but you swallow the bitter pill, not knowing what's next, and you find yourself actually taken off because you stayed in character. You did not allow yourself to be swayed. You said no, and that's what I did. I said no. I have made these mistakes before. I will not make this mistake again. And for as long as I've chosen to serve God, I won't make these mistakes again. I won't use sexuality to get at whatever, and I will not bend into a cat fight with another woman. Deal with your problem yourself, individually, even you. I am not that woman. I am wonderfully
Fearfully
and fearfully made by the Lord God Almighty. And this body ain't to be touched. And you actually, I'm not going to say God appears out of nowhere and then saves you from the situation. No, my friend, you are actually taken out. You get it? Yes. You actually lose. But when you lose, you go back home and sleep and say, I lost. but I did the right thing. But before you know it,
Yes.
in that moment of loss, you will be in pain. Moments will come like, maybe I should have. Maybe I should have done it. You have doubt. But then again, you sleep again, and then you put your knees down and say, help me, God. Have you ever reached a moment in your life where you don't even have anything specific to pray about? There's just too many problems, too many. You cannot mention them, because when you start mentioning them, you just start crying. Yeah? And you just put your knees down and say, God, please help me. Help me, God. I just want to be happy. Because there's just so many things, you can't mention all of them. Then you sleep. Then you just start seeing things unveiling one by one. One by one. A phone call, someone you have not heard from a long time, then calls you. And there's just happiness. Nothing in particular is happening, but there's this return. Then you know it is coming. Stay on course. It is coming. You always have that feeling. When something is going to happen, you will know it is coming. It is coming. Joseph first, someone is coming randomly, asking for a dream interpretation. He is. God has given him ability to actually interpret the dream. It is coming. The gift is there. It is coming. And then, boom, the king has summoned you. That is a payment of character.
Guys, where there is Joseph, in this case is me, Michael Wafula. So let us not forget that we are here sharing real life stories and recent stories, because these are young people. Everything they're speaking of is not older than 5-6 years ago. Cedric is talking of 2020. Doctor is talking of 2025. Not the time of Joseph. So if you doubt the story in the Bible, at least believe the story of people, that there are things happening which resonate with the stories of the Bible. That God is actually able to do what he says he will do in your life, and to make you flourish where he has planted you. We didn't talk about where you're planted, but I wanted to ask you people, maybe to be the last. You're all from the northern part of the country. When I told some of the team members that I'm inviting 2 people, and I told them Cedric will come from Lira, they say, eh. Then I remembered the Bible verse of some fella in Israel who was, can anything good come from Nazareth? Talking about Jesus. But now we know, when I came to Lira, I saw things. It was my first time in Lira, but not my first time in the north. And then I saw the girl from Oyam. I said, okay, it's good. We are going to debunk. But later you'll tell us what is special about Lira to your heart and to yours. Because at the end of the day, these are Ugandans who, if you can base yourself in Lira and flourish, and Doctor, you can come from Oyam and come here within and flourish. What stops somebody here from going to Moroto and flourishing? Or to Bundibujo and flourishing? Or to Busia and flourishing? Or even out of the country and flourishing? But that's not the question for now. Right now, I wanted to speak about, God help me, I remember. When Doctor was speaking, I had a question. Now my wife is watching. I'm about to embarrass her by forgetting the question. Then I'll go home for coaching on how to carry a pen and note my ideas in an interview. She's watching and I'm sure she's laughing. But I know I'm going home to face it, Raf, if I don't remember this question. But anyway, Cedric and Doctor, we are about to move on to questions from the people. Yeah. But from your life stories, brief but on point, we could have come and you'd have carried sermons, and Doctor, I think you're a preacher also. Who agrees with the way she delivers? That she's a preacher, most likely. So next time, maybe in the youth service or in the whatever we can organize, we give you 2 hours to preach. Maybe. But now, I've heard the story. Personally, it is opening my mind on so many things about integrity, character, the opportunity. The word was opportunity. Thank God, the question is back. I was speaking all around looking for my question, the word opportunity. Opportunity is going to come anytime. Yeah. We started by, you said, be prepared. It will come anytime. When it comes, I don't believe in once in a lifetime opportunity. I believe God will give me more and more opportunities. If I fail at one, another is around the corner. That is out of my experience with God. Somebody else maybe it's a one-time opportunity God. But for me, God is a God of more opportunity. Because the Bible says his mercies are new every morning. So if an opportunity comes to me, it's by the mercies of God. So Cedric and Doctor, I don't know who will take the first turn. When the opportunity came, or whenever they come, how do you face them? And I'm asking this to deal with the issue of being bold to step forward. And then how do you handle the opportunity? Because again, from my own experience, very few people here may know who work with me away from church. I have learned I'm a businessman. Never had a job. I think I don't even know how to apply. And I think I didn't get a job because I didn't know how to apply. Not because I wasn't known by people. But I think I don't know how to apply for a job. But in business, I know. I may not be seeing the results I want yet, but I know I'm not making so many mistakes. However, the opportunities come. I've seen many young people, because either maybe they're not prepared or what, it just messes up. And that's why I asked the question with relationships, because most of the opportunities are hidden in these people we meet. So, Doctor, please talk about, and Cedric, how do you deal with opportunity? You're young. Cedric, you're 23. What are you doing meeting the president? Sijui, at 23, my mother didn't even think that I can be able to go and rent alone. She didn't believe in me. And African parents, I don't know, they raise us up to put us down. Sweat, pay all the school fees, and then when you're trying to branch off, say, but how are you going to? They don't even have a confidence in us. So when I was moving out of my mother's house, it was a rebellious moving. And I wanted to go as far as I can go from that house. So that I do not get the temptation to stay. But I remember my father, when I told my father 2 days before I moved, that Daddy, next Monday when you come home, you'll not find me. He said, no, you wait. How are you? My mother asked me, how are you going to cook? Won't you burn yourself in the house? That's how much she didn't believe in me. Not that I don't know how to cook for myself. But it's a fear of a mother maybe. I'm going back to opportunity. You can mess up an opportunity, I know. How have you guys, at such a young age, I know you people believe in God. You've told us you believe in God, and I don't discredit it in my own life. If I give you a testimony, but today is not about me, if they invite me to tell them, I will tell, but they've never, so I'm not coming to tell them. But a short story, for me, I went from a debt of several millions. What I owed to being owed the same amount in less than 1 month. I had a debt of more than, let me use a figure. Let us assume you have a debt of 2,000 shillings in the morning, but in the evening, your debt is paid and somebody owes you 2,000 shillings. God did that for me in less than 30 days. I'd paid all debt and had incoming in 30 days. I can assure you, it's not because I know business. It's not because I did something extraordinary. It's not that I know anything. It's not that I'm the best. And for the first time, I think I told you, Cedric, what you're saying that opportunity keep coming, keep coming. I've seen that favor of God in my own life, where even when, for that client, Cedric, when I first started supplying them, I got everything wrong. I did everything the way they didn't want. And they had people who could do the things the right way. And every time I messed up, they called me back to supply. Like, they ask you for blue chairs, you supply green chairs, and then they say, tomorrow come and supply what we asked for. They don't call another person. Then you do the correction. Then they ask you for this, and you supply the wrong thing, and they know who can supply the right thing, and they tell you, go and copy that person and come and do it here. And you wonder why they don't call that person. It was just the favor of God. So I understand when I say you've told us about God, I'm not dismissing that. I know what God can do without your input. But a few months in, wisdom came to me, and I knew that God has opened a door. Like the Bible says, Paul says, a great and what? Has opened for me. But the adversaries are what? So in a few months into that, me serving that client, I realized I'm a baby. The opportunity is given to me by God, but I have to match it up with delivery. It's not for long that I'll be delivering wrong things and get paid. Let me tell you, they even to pay me for the waste. You know, they tell you paint here blue, you paint red, they pay for the red and they pay for the change. But I knew that if I keep making these mistakes, I'm going to go back. The door will close. So talk about opportunity. Because when Joseph gets the opportunity to be prime minister, it came once. And he took it on. So tell us, Cedric.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael. I love the way you asked the question, and there was a lot of responses in between. So normally I give this view that every opportunity that comes in our lives, once you maximize the opportunity available at the moment, more will always start coming. Now, opportunities come in two ways. One, there are ones that comes when you're very prepared for them. Like you really wanted this. You wanted this opportunity. You wanted a chance to present before the board of directors. You wanted a chance to pitch before these people and stuff. So that's when you put all the details together, every necessary details. For example, I'm into IT rather. And there's so many competitions that I know happens. And if you pick me now to go and pitch, you might not even need 1 hour to tell me what your project is. I'll ask you, what is your project? How is it going to work? How will it flow? And how will it end? In that short time, I will understand your project because I have been in the game of pitching for some time. And I will eventually win you that prize or we make something come good out of it. Now, if you're working with a team, you cannot do everything. If, let's say, you have a business, you have a company, You cannot do everything. They're going to request you to come and make a presentation on a particular thing. Please, don't think that because you're the team lead, you're the ED, you're the CEO, you're the business owner, it has to be done by you every single time. We had a pitching competition last week. I'll share this. There were 400 teams for climate justice, CSJ, to solve climate issues in northern Uganda. Out of 400 teams, I was supposed to pitch. On Sunday, I was in a patch coming to Lira, but I was coming with some big general who stops and greets everybody for like 8 hours before he reaches final destination. So we took a lot of time on our way. So my team called me several times. I was actually telling you this. Cedric, where have you reached? We need to finalize the pitching because the competition is tomorrow. So what they did, they had to start practicing the pitch by themselves because Cedric is not going to be there. I arrived Kampala, I think at 2 a.m. in the morning. And then I told them, guys, I am coming tomorrow. Send me the final slides, the adjustment you guys have made in your preliminary pitching. We go and rock this table tomorrow. We went and pitched for 390 million. Just a few days ago, we were the best in the country. Now, such pitching, I am not the team leader of whatever competitions we are in. I'm part of the team. But if the team leader had said that since we have an opportunity, I need to show up, I need to be there. There are people who are very good in critical thinking. They're very good in logical, technical. But these are not PRs. They can't present people. They can't represent. They know how the system should work, but they can't communicate it easily. So we pitched. We won the competition. Now, as you prepare, as someone who's into business, you're in leadership and so forth, you can't do everything by yourself. And then secondly, sometimes you have big opportunities that comes on your way and you can't let it go. Giving an example, let's say I'm into the IT work, software work, and a very big project comes up. There's someone who built a project for government, and it's pretty young. Then I sat down with him and asked him, how much did they pay you for this? He told me, this one we charged 4.5 billion. And I was like, I have never seen such money in my life, like 4.5 billion to build this software. Now, when such big opportunities come, you need to source sometimes. You need to source. If you know someone who is very good in, let's say, painting, you have a very big project to run, please don't use the fake people to deliver. If you use wrong people to deliver big opportunities, at the end of the day, they're not going to go wrong. It's you who has to go wrong. Give an example what Michael said. He was supplying these, customers different things, but they had to really reconcile and see the best to do. Secondly, as opportunities are coming, you need to keep preparing yourself. Let me give an example. We go through a lot of learning, a lot of processes, a lot of listening to podcasts, a lot of meeting different people, a lot of smiling to people who even hate you, a lot of things so that you know when something comes on your way, you are able to tackle it out. Pastors go through a lot of reading, a lot of scriptures, comparing notes and putting this together because they are trying to prepare for something that is going to come. Someone talked about having phone numbers, having people, adding value and everything. If I'm to ask a question for all of us here, how many of you have contacts of your area MP in your phone? Hands up. Oh, someone is at the back. Now, you at the back, you have the contact for your area MP. Does he have your contact? As we prepare, the reason why I've asked this question is because earlier on she said that, what do you bring on the table of people? Now, in terms of opportunities, how many books have you read to be able to sit with the board of governors, to be able to sit in a state house meeting, to be able to call to go and be part of something? Because if you don't have value that you put on the table, people, even the opportunities you would ever wish to come your way will not reach, because why is the opportunity going to reach you? So early preparation matters. You might not prepare for an exact opportunity, but here are the tips of things I would want you to do. It might even be my last remarks for some of the things I'm going to say. Number one is knowledge acquisition. You might be the most beautiful, the most handsome guy, I wanted to say this in my local language. There's nothing in your brain. I told the lady I was working with her, I told her, I want to work with you for one reason. And in most cases, when I'm working with somebody, even I called you, I'll let you know, I'm not going to use you, but I want to tell you why I want to what? Work with you. You have this connection, you know this person, I have this. How can we team up together? I told her, I want to work with you on my mentorship program, and you are such a beautiful girl. And to every person who will run for this program because you're beautiful. And I want you to use that opportunity. You're a good speaker, but you're shying away because you feel you can't contribute something. Start reading different books, research, understand things. And your beauty alone is going to attract people. Women, we run for beautiful things. When you see, I always tell some people say beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. Me also, I tell people beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, but also to me, it also lies the person seeing it. So, as you prepare, keep acquiring knowledge. Number 2, understand that so many people want the opportunity that you're going for. So, if you can't create a specific niche, value on how you can deliver, on how you can be different, it is not going to work out. Number 3, when opportunities show up, one big thing that is very important is character.
Character.
That one is no question.
Wow.
Character is like a tool, it's like a commodity, it's like a combination of all traits, everything that we combine together and put and say, if for Cedric, that guy is a very happy man. There are people who get opportunities just because of being happy people, very welcoming, very easy to work with, very nice to associate with, and they get bigger chances. Give you an example. When we went for the competition last week, this week we won 2 competitions. When we went for the competition, I met the judge, one of the judges, because we had 2 rooms. So this judge, when he saw me, he was like, wait, Cedric, you are here? I was like, yes, I'm around. He's like, no, if you were in my room, you would automatically win. Because he has been seeing me in that space for some time. I've been very consistent. Then when we went for lunch, I met this lady. She was brought from London. She's an Indian, but born in London. And then she asked me that, she asked my name. I told her my name. She was like, were you in London last year? I was like, yes. I saw you. I loved your speech.
Cedric, I have one question for you. Later, I want to give these people an opportunity. When they ask 1 or 2 questions maximum, we start with doctor. After doctor, I give you the closing questions. But we are going to do that in 10 minutes only. So, 2 questions. The first hand and the second. I'm going to cheat the rules. I have a gentleman there, have a lady there, and I have a gentleman. So I'm going to start with the lady, end with the 2 gentlemen, and then we come to you, doctor. You take it away, and we shall close. We have 10 minutes, so your questions quickly.
There's a microphone there, I think.
Have 10 minutes to go into the new week. So briefly, a question, doctor will summarize it. Yes. Yes. Priscilla. Yes.
Has been talking about opportunities. So my question is, from that circle, I'm a desperate youth. Many opportunities now have been set before me. The Bible tells me that I should learn to separate the precious from the vile. So as a desperate youth, a Christian youth, moreover, how do I know that this opportunity is going to land me into a pit? This one is going to connect me to where I want. Thank you so much.
And praise the Lord. Yeah. Mr. Mike, I'm so very sorry. I have my questions here. They're like four, I don't know. Yeah, because I've been writing since we began, so. Okay, the very first question is to all our visitors, that what kind of legacy do you hope to leave, and how is it tied to your character? Because we've been talking about it since we began. So, another question?
Yeah. Yes, hello. That if people could only remember one thing about your character, what would you want it to be? Hmm? That what daily habits or disciplines do you always practice to strengthen that the character that you're talking about? Then the last question is that how do you recover when you fail to live your own values or character and the standards? Thank you. Hey, I'm Aaron Mayanja. Yeah. Yeah, I do structure engineering.
Good evening. I want to thank the panelists, Dr. Sharon and Mr. Cedric. I have a bit of two questions. The first question goes to both of you. You can choose to answer it how you want to. You've done basically what's greater than what your fathers did, what's more than your mothers did. What keeps you motivated each morning to wake up and pursue? You've been talking about having a pitching each week, almost, dealing with all these big people. What motivates you each and every day? The other question is for Dr. Sharon. We live as young men today with this complexity that we cannot tell between the ladies, the well-packaged fake. So, yeah, so you look like a very successful and a very well-packaged lady and with substance. So I know you can also tell the fakes that are also well-packaged. So if you can.
Thank you so much for the question. Just a minute.
Yes.
I want to, because we are not coming back to questions, I want to, as you answer these questions, you're going to also conclude, and in conclusion, answer the questions. Then in conclusion, what are you doing in Lira with the youth? What are you doing in the country, at the council or YAM, with the women? Then we can conclude. But no more questions.
Okay, many opportunities come on our way, but you can't run for each and every single thing that comes. Someone told me that when you get done with campus, don't look for a dream job. Do what's available as you pursue what your dream has always been. People will have dream cars. Someone asked me yesterday, what's your dream car? I told her I don't know. For me, I just need something that my dream car will come when I know I'm comfortable. So opportunities, there are so many, but you can't be known for everything. You can't do everything. Someone told me you can do 1.5 things very well. So be known for 1 or 2 things and maximize on that. It might look like personal, I do a lot of things. They're all around tech and around me and the young people. Second question.
Legacy, one thing that you do about it, your daily habits, and recovery in case you fail. In summary, Dr. Cedric.
My recovery process starts with going to a swimming pool when I know things have not been easy. I had a long day, stressed, cried, and so forth. I learned swimming last year because it is one thing that just keeps me so fresh. So even if there is no swimming pool, I'll look for a swamp and just be in the water.
A swamp.
And 2, I always have people that I shoulder on. I cry on when there is a problem.
Yes.
Once I tell somebody, I become stronger. I pray about it, but make sure you have someone that you lean on.
Yes.
You're not strong by yourself. A legacy that I want to leave behind is, I've been pushing for a lot of things for northern Uganda and also Uganda as well. I want people to know that out of the goodwill of one person who is not looking at personal gains, something big can happen for millions of people.
Yes.
That's what I've been pushing for. There's something big I'm pushing for the region. So those people told me today, if this succeeds, we shall name it after you because you've been our pillar pushing for this. And then what keeps you motivated? The thing that keeps me motivated is I have a huge base of people that believes in me. Someone tells me, I am so and so because of your inspiration. I'm so and so because of following your status. I'm so and so because of following your inspirations on TikTok account. So the only thing that keeps me moving is the aspect that some of them keep moving because I am moving. So when I stop, I let them down.
Yes.
So the people who believes in me keeps me moving.
Thank you so much, Cedric. I know you do a lot with the youth in Lira, inspiring them to take the journey into technology.
You told me to say that. So in Lira, I work with Kakebe Technologies. We do a lot of tech events around the region. I work personally with a lot of universities in mentorship, in business, technology from Kumi, Muni, Gulu, majorly North and Eastern Uganda. And also I lead so many people in respective of their ages, and I speak to people for a living to inspire them, to keep them moving. And also lately I've been doing a lot of TikTok influencing. So because I have a huge follow, so I've been influencing on that.
Thank you, Cedric. Doctor, to remind you, the questions were, how do you separate between the real opportunities and those which may not be real? How do you know? What is your legacy? What are your daily habits to pursuing this legacy? When you fail, how do you recover? Then, what is your motivation? And then, how do you separate? The well-packaged, that one is specific to relationship.
First of all, how do I separate the real opportunities and by trying?
By trying. That's a full, complete answer. No need to explain. By trying. Okay?
Along the way is when I will know, Kagwirawo or Techigwa.
Yes.
Then you pull out. But of course, you know that it depends on how you live your life.
Yes.
I live my life for people.
For people.
Yes.
Okay.
That is a decision that I made personally to live my life
For others.
for others. Then maybe others will live for me. God will live for me. But it is what I do for people that comes back to me.
Yes.
Because the Bible says we don't live for ourselves. So if you're living for yourself, then that is really a very short span. But when you're living for others, you are living 1,000 million lives.
Yes.
Being firstborn myself, that is a guarantee you're a mother immediately. Of course, if you've lost a father, you now become a mother of the rest of the siblings. So you have no choice. But now when you grow up and they're all grown, what's the other thing? My decision was to continue living for others.
Yes.
So
Daily habits, recovery when you fail.
I'll first jump straight to the recovery bit. We all go through something. We all try something, and we all fail at some point. But it is your preparation that makes you have a recovery point, a good recovery point. Mine is my relationship with my sisters.
Okay.
My sisters, my older, my aunt, Lorna, Cynthia, I'll mention the names, Lorna, Cynthia, Cinderella. My recovery point is them. When I'm down, two things. I will sleep or I will go to them, run to them, one of them.
Yes.
I'll choose. Today this one, let me first go to Lorna's house. Today this one, Cynthia. This one needs a Cinderella.
Yes.
You get it? They are my recovery points. But you see, even when I go to the sleep, they will look for me. Why is she sleeping? Because they know that is the only thing I do when I'm down.
Yeah.
They will look for me. So I've prepared that ground by having a good relationship with my siblings. Then I know when I'm down, they will look for me. And guess what? That relationship does not come cheap. I paid school fees. I took care of them. When they call upon me, I'm there. The last one just graduated with a low degree. After I've paid school, my father left her in the tummy. And I've paid school fees. So I am her mother. So I will run to her, and I know she will call me because I know she's looking at me as my mommy can't be down. I need to help my mommy. You get that?
Yes.
It's because you live for people, and people live for you.
And the women in Oyam?
Now, my legacy. That's my legacy, first of all.
That's what?
That's my legacy.
Legacy.
My legacy.
Is
The people
yeah.
are my legacy. And I decided to give a portion of my earnings to take care of orphans and pay school fees for orphans. What I earn, a portion of it is paying school fees for orphans, because I'm one, but thankfully God blessed me with a stepdaddy who's amazing. But being an orphan, I decided even if everything goes wrong, even when the world is saying this, that, there is that child who's saying she paid my school fees. I'm alive because of her. There's a widow who is saying, ka business kange kano. It's because of Sharon. Now, when you attack Sharon, you are attacking 70,000 women. When Sharon dies, her story is being told right now by 70,000 women. 70,000 women times 4 children each, times 4 grandchildren each of that, times great grandchildren. That is my legacy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to... Which question?
The well-packaged.
Motivation and the well-packaged.
How do you identify a well-packaged fake? Sweetheart, you can't. I'm sorry to say that you can't. I can be as fake as it goes, and it will take you years to realize it. I can tell you a lie and tell it again, and it will take you like 10, 20 years to realize that I was lying. It is the grace of God. It's the grace of God that we identify the people that we are with. That's why every time we're going to have an engagement with somebody or connect with people, it is always good to put God first and say, God, I am relating with this person. Give me the grace to know when it is wrong or right. And believe you me, there will be signs that God will show you. You might get random stupid accidents whenever you're going to meet them. Things might just keep going wrong. You're with them and then they go, hey, please, come. You have to leave them. There will be signs, and those signs are only given to you when God knows that you have put him first in that relationship. And no matter how far you've gone, no matter what train you have gotten into, the moment you see the signs, jump out of that train. Because the farther you go on that train, the longer it will take you.
But I want to thank Cedric and Doctor, and then